The RTX 4070 is real, because we actually didn't know that yet. The 7800X 3D launched yesterday, and you can overclock it if you want. And we've got details on Zen 5, and maybe AMD's not done themselves this time. Let's get into the hot news, everybody. I'm your bright host. We're going to be going over the hottest tech news that I can find on the internet this Friday, April 7th, 2023. And we're going to start off today talking about the RTX 4070, because even though we're anticipating this is going to launch this coming Thursday based on other leaks we've seen from video cards and other companies, turns out that NVIDIA has not actually confirmed they're giving us this GPU at all until they confirm that NVIDIA's Reflex, which is their low latency program, is coming to Counter-Strike 2. And in the slides for that, they happen to show off the fact that the RTX 4070 has reduced latency with Counter-Strike 2 with Reflex on, going from 10 milliseconds down to 8 milliseconds of latency. So it does look like it's real. Again, no official release date from NVIDIA, but according to all of the reports we're hearing from video cards and otherwise, it's going to be an embargo date. We're going to get reviews allegedly on Wednesday, release on Thursday. Should be potentially a good time, and we're getting some details about third-party cards that should be coming out. Gigabyte is allegedly going to have 4 cards on offer for the first day of launch, and in case you don't remember, NVIDIA's allegedly splitting this launch up into 2 pieces. The first piece is going to have the reference edition cheap cards at $599, and then the second side is going to be the slightly overclocked 225 watt more expensive GPUs over here, and according to this report, Gigabyte's going to have 1 of each. And it looks like all the other Gigabyte cards that they've been coming out with. The pictures look good. 2 $599, 2 more expensive than that. Just to refresh your memory, the $599 versions are what's going to be equivalent to the Founders Edition, should get their reviews out on Wednesday, and then the ones that are more expensive will have a simultaneous review embargo with the sales embargo on Thursday. At least that's what we're anticipating. NVIDIA might change things up at the last second, but that's what we're waiting to hear, just like you've been waiting to hear about today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by ProtoArc with their XKM01 portable folding keyboard and mouse combo. If you're a professional who's on the go all of the time, this should be a staple in your lineup because it's designed for business travelers and workers with mobile office needs. You have a tri-fold keyboard that makes it easy for portability and storage and making it perfect for use on the go. The hinges on the keyboard are rated for 100,000 folding actions. It has low-profile scissor switches, which gives a smooth and responsive typing experience, and it can be used on multiple devices. It has 2.4 gigahertz connection as well as 2 Bluetooth connections so that you can have it docked to your PC at home, but then when you're out and about, use it with Bluetooth with your tablet, with your laptop, or any other device, including your phone. And both the mouse and the keyboard are designed for quiet typing and clicking to make sure you're not waking anybody up in case you're working in a hotel room. They both have a Type-C connection, can be charged in 2 hours, and the mouse has 150 days of standby time. And for your travels on the go, it has a quality portable hard case which slots in both the mouse and the keyboard nicely, as well as all the additional cables that you potentially might need for your travels. And you can check out the XKM01 at the link in the video description. You can use code UFD to save 10% off right now. Check it out at the link in the video description. Again, use code UFD to save 10%. Big thanks to ProtoArc for sponsoring today's video. ProtoArc kit's great for travel, and we actually did a little bit of traveling yesterday because we went to Micro Center to pick up the 7800X 3D, which officially went on retail sale for $450. We had a whole 7-hour stream where we drove there, shopped at the store for a few minutes, then went home. It was a great time. Big thanks to Micro Center for partnering with us on that. There was about a dozen people in line when we got there at around 9:50 a.m. or 10 minutes before the store opened, and there happens to be 25 plus new CPUs in stock even hours after they've opened and have been on sale. So it does look like the delayed time frame that AMD put for the 7800X 3D has yielded in higher stock from what I could see. We had other people in our chat who were talking about the Micro Centers that they were visiting, and they were able to get their hands on all of those CPUs. Plus, there was plenty of 7950X 3D CPUs at Micro Center. It does seem to be like AMD has these in robust quantities that's making it easier for you to potentially pick up. We've got an ITX build that we're planning with this, the B650i we also picked up from Micro Center, which big shout out to Shane W for being my associate both times that we've gone recently for the X3D launches. That's going to go in the Fractal Ridge case. I'm excited for that PC build that we're going to be doing shortly. But in case you picked up your own 7800X 3D and you're looking to get the most performance out of it and you're very technically inclined, well, it turns out you can actually overclock this CPU even though AMD has made it so that it's locked. locked down and technically doesn't support overclocking, Scatterbencher came out with a great detailed video on how you can massage the BIOS on certain motherboards to make it so that you can get the 7800X3D up to 5.4 gigahertz, potentially even 5.6 in some instances, depending on what type of cooling you have. It is very voltage sensitive, so you're not going to be able to push too much past that when it comes to the voltage, but you can actually get a lot of performance out of it if you do a little bit of precise tweaking that even I, being the #1 rookie overclocker in the entire world at one point, would not be comfortable doing, just because it is so detailed, so intense. Check out Scatterbencher's video, which we'll leave a link in the video description in case you want more details on how to get the most out of this chip. There are a lot of caveats. #1, likely not going to be something that's stable all of the time for games. #2, because of the massaging that you're doing to get the best performance on all of the cores, single-threaded performance actually does take a hit because PBO is typically better for that, which is AMD's default overclocking technology. So it's not all good news, but it's incredible to see just how much detail went into getting the extra performance out of the 7800X3D, how much details are behind the scenes in the Raphael architecture that AMD's put there for people who have the know-how, who have the technical expertise, can get out of it. I highly recommend Scatterbencher. I've met Peter half a dozen times, especially during my tenure as the #1 rookie overclocker in the world participating in HW Bot. Great guy, great videos. Absolutely love this in case you're super technically inclined. On the less technical side of things, I like God of War Ragnarok. It's my favorite game of all time. Love the story that it told, and it finally got its new game plus with a ton of details being added to it. New additions. The whole reason they didn't even come out with the new game plus until spring of 2023 is because they wanted to add so much content, and it does appear like they've actually done that. In case you played the game, it's now going to be better for you to play again. And I play this game every day. Is Reece going to give us UFD deals or not? He's traveling for the Easter holidays. He's at his parents' house. I don't know if we got UFD deals. Thank you or thank you not, Reece. I really don't know. It's a crapshoot. And that's exactly what Best Buy is asking you to give to them, a crapshoot of stuff. They have their recycling program, which allows you to send them old tech that you're not going to use, and they'll recycle it for you. Typically, you can do this in store, but in case there's not a Best Buy near you, they now ship you boxes. You can get a small box for $23, and it can support up to 6 pounds of e-waste, and $30 for a medium box, which can support up to 15 pounds. Best Buy just making it slightly easier to recycle that old crapshoot stuff you have lying around. Discord also making it easier for you to crapshoot with your friends, talking about soundboards going into voice channels. You can only use it on desktop, but you can hear it on mobile. Kyler's gonna go wild with this. He loves soundboards so much, especially when we're streaming. If Kyler could communicate only with soundboards, he would totally do that. I thought I had a problem when I had a soundboard access with the Stream Deck. He's on a whole nother level. And unfortunately, AMD's GPUs in the Samsung smartphones were not on a whole nother level. The Exynos chips that were being partnered with AMD's RDNA graphics, at least according to all technical measures, wasn't a very good launch. The Eclipse 920 fell well behind what Snapdragon was coming out with, to the point with the S23 launch that Samsung got rid of the AMD GPUs entirely and went with Qualcomm on this. However, turns out that's not enough for them to kill the partnership, because they're actually in fact extending the partnership with Samsung and AMD, saying that they're going to co-develop more chips in the years to come. We'll have to wait and see if this actually brings anything to fruition. How many smartphones are going to come out with it? Are they going to try to focus on more of the mid-tier market with the A-series phones that Samsung has, or are they still going to try to hit the top-tier flagship level? We'll keep you updated as that's happening, and we're keeping you updated on Raja Koduri's moves, because he's being found to be on a new board of directors. Raja Koduri, in case you don't remember, he was the lead on Radeon Technologies when they came out with the Polaris and Vega architectures. Then he's been at Intel for the last little bit and spearheaded the endeavor to get Arc Alchemist out the door. He left the company recently to pursue an AI startup, and now he's also joined the board of TensTorrent, which his former colleague Jim Keller is the head of. Jim Keller also being responsible for a lot of stuff at Intel, AMD, Apple, Tesla. He's been everywhere developing CPUs, and that's why with this next discussion about Zen 5, I want you to take it very seriously. This man is considered to be one of the rock stars of CPU development. He was part of the Zen development cycle. He's part of AMD's first surgence. He was part of Intel's resurgence recently. He's done a whole lot of good for the technical age, and with his company TensTorrent, he gave us the first slides indicating at what AMD's Zen 5 performance is going to be like. Keep in in mind, something like the 7800X3D is based on Zen 4, so we're talking about the next generation of stuff. However, Tens Torrent does seem to be focusing on AI productivity, not necessarily gaming, so take this with a grain of salt. But if we take a look at the slides that he showed off, there's a lot of intriguing detail. So he's comparing the Tens Torrent processors that they have, which are based on RISC-V, versus what's out there on the market right now. You can see that you have the AMD EPYC servers right here and Genoa Bergamo, which is what we're currently on with Zen 4. Then you look at AMD Zen 5 and it absolutely blows it out of the water. Then you compare it to NVIDIA's Grace CPUs, which, interesting thing to note here, they say projected because they don't have their hands on it, but Zen 5 doesn't say projected, so it's possible that they actually do have samples of AMD's next generation chips, have tested it against their own products to see that they're actually going to be second to only AMD's Zen 5 themselves. And then you look at Intel Xenon, it's not really keeping pace. On top of that, they also showed off frequency, with Zen 5 having a higher frequency than what we currently have in their EPYC lineup, and then additionally power usage is going to stay roughly the same with where everything is right now. So we're looking at possibly 30% faster Zen 5 over Zen 4 based on that increased frequency. It's roughly a 23% IPC uplift, which is great year over year to see AMD still developing that this deep into their architecture. Again, this is only one specific workload that Tens Torrent has tested. We don't know how well this is going to translate to games, but if it's anything at this level, a 30% increase year on year, you think the 7800X3D is good, potentially we could get something even more incredible next generation, which is just really hard to think of how much further technology can be pushed. I feel really satisfied with where I'm at right now when I just have a 3070 in my system. I can't imagine we get the 5090 with a Zen 5 CPU. Potentially, maybe AMD even figures out 3D V-Cache, actually can get it on 2 CCDs. You got the 8950X3D, 30% improvement. Also has 3D V-Cache on both sets of cores and doesn't have to do any weird Windows nonsense, actually get full performance out of those 16 cores. I'm excited. I want to see where this future goes. I didn't think it was going to be coming from Jim Keller himself to find out just how exciting Zen 5 might actually be, but here we sit and stand. But I'm not going to sit or stand anymore because this episode's hot news is over. We'll see you back here for more of the hottest tech news on Monday, my friends.